I want to express my gratitude for all of you for coming to Israel in these dire days and difficult moments. It means a lot to the Israeli people, and I'm grateful for that. The United States of America has no greater friend than Israel, and Israel has no greater friends than the United States of America. I said it in my speech in front of the joint session of the House in 19th of July, just a few months ago. The world has turned since then upside down, but this unbreakable bond, this alliance, is as strong as ever and is irreplaceable. We all have to understand it. We share the same objectives. We share the objective of eradicating terror, of fighting the empire of evil which emanates from Tehran and wants to undermine world law and order and is adverse directly to the national interests of the United States of America. Of course, is a clear enemy of ours too. We are here fighting on behalf of entire humanity and the entire free world to fight a vile, aggressive, and brutal terrorist organization which holds 134 Israeli hostages, which we are praying and acting and calling for their release every day. And we share with the United States of America and with the President of the United States of America, our dear friend, President Joe Biden, we share the same vision of eradicating terror, of bringing the hostages back home, of moving towards peace with our neighbors and finding it a possibility once we finish the ability of our enemies to carry out terror from Gaza against us. And finally, and most importantly, we share the vision of inclusion of Israel in the region, which I believe strongly in, including the normalization with Saudi Arabia. President Biden is a great friend of Israel. We have hosted him less than 2 years ago here, when I honored him with the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor. I could see his love and affection and emotion towards the people of Israel and the state of Israel. The tears coming down his eyes when he saw so many great moments here. He's a true friend, and I respect him a lot for that. And I say to our friends in America, and I say to the Israeli people, this bond is essential. Simply focus on upgrading, enhancing, and strengthening this bond, because this bond is a unique bond in world history of two nations who believe in true humanitarian values. We will work together to alleviate and upgrade the humanitarian aid to Gaza, and we will work together endlessly to bring the hostages back home, and we will work endlessly to fight terror, stand up to the empire of evil, and lead the world and the region toward a better future. Thank you very much.
So I thank you again very much for coming here and expressing your solidarity. And I'm sure that what you've seen with your own eyes has even strengthened more your stand. And we do hope, we're very hopeful that we will know peaceful days here, because this is what we yearn for. I can say as a mother, you know, we want our kids to grow in a peaceful neighborhood. We want them to have a good future. We don't want to fight. We don't want to encourage conflicts. And as I said, as an Israeli woman, I pray that other women in the world will not have to go through the sexual violence that Israeli women went through and still are going through. And we pray every day for the hostages to come back safe and sound as quickly as possible. Thank you for being with us.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And we're seeing it at a certain level, and I've heard a lot about this on this trip. The empire, as you said, empire of evil. It's not one. It is Putin, what he's trying to do in Ukraine, Iran, what he's trying to do in the Middle East and the region, others. And it is a threat to the world order that took hold after World War II.
Absolutely.
A world order based on alliances, on countries who respect territorial sovereignty, countries who work to try to lift their own people up, and in so doing lift up the people of the world. There's no better example of that than the small country of Israel that has invested in medical research and technology, has worked to bring agricultural advancements and feed hungry people all over the world. This clash is happening right here. This is the front line. And we saw it on October 7th, and we've seen the resilience of the Israeli people and the commitment to, as you said, Mr. President, a war against Hamas and evil, not a war against the Palestinian people. And we understand that. It's our charge to make sure that our colleagues understand it, that together we work to make sure that the world understands it.
Is a huge part of the explosion of anti-Semitism around the world. I'm here as a Jew, as a Zionist, as a Jewish mother. I brought my youngest daughter, Shelby, with me, and I'm tremendously grateful every day for the colleagues that are not Jewish, that are really the tremendous, intense impact on them as a result of stalwartly standing with Israel, standing for not just democracy, but to ensure that no the weight of their office behind the idea that no have to live with a terrorist on their doorstep every single day. That it is essential that Israel be able to bring their your hostages home, to eradicate that threat, certainly to provide humanitarian aid to innocents, and to ensure that Hamas is destroyed not just to protect Israel, but to protect democracy and good